What's good, guys? It's Esteban Xound back here with another album conversation for you guys. Now, before we get into anything, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Check out some of our previous conversations that we've done. With your subscription, honestly, it helps support the sound movement. Before we get into anything as well, I want to show you some of the t-shirts that we got. We're selling t-shirts for $15 a pop. YYC, this is the city that I'm in. For those that you don't know, that represents Calgary Sound Movement Entertainment. That's the label that we represent. These things are $15 a pop. They are 100% cotton, and if you're in the Calgary area, I will personally deliver to you free of charge. Now, if you're not in the Calgary area, unfortunately, I cannot get it to you because I don't have the international shipping set up yet. But once again, as you support, we're able to build infrastructure to get these t-shirts out to you guys. So with your support, we're able to grow and expand and get these out to you guys.
See, everything you heard before was probably a warm-up. I got thousands of songs we can do. I could be here till 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Don't give a fuck. Just like, you know, like crazy. So that real hip-hop is over.
Liquor got a lady, liquor got a baby looking shitty as a lady wife. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shitty, yeah. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady as a baby wife. Liquor got a...
I personally wanted to do this. It's an up-and-coming artist that's coming out of the city that I think he's doing some good things. So I wanted to bring a conversation to you guys. His name is Twizzie Ramos, and his album is called Flowtaku space Cowboy, and this is the album conversation. Going into this album, like I said, this is a local artist from Calgary. His name is Twizzie Ramos. He's been on the scene for a few years. We'll start with the first time I'd seen him. It was over at Wreck the Mic, a local show out in Calgary. The Rec Room, they hold an event, I want to say every couple months, 10 at 10. I guess it's an open mic for local and up-and-coming artists. I was actually supposed to perform on that shit, but they fronted on me. I was like, damn, I gotta watch. But whatever, we ended up watching some dope performances, and he was one of the headliners. So that's the first time I'd seen and even heard about Twizzie Ramos. And I thought he killed his performance at Wreck the Mic. So I was able to meet with him after, and he gave me a business card, and I was like, alright, he's doing his thing. I see he's doing it professionally, I like it. Then we met through Cypher Club, and I was able to connect with Twizzie at the Cypher Club, and he was dope. Again, that energy that I saw performing live at the Wreck the Mic event, I saw it once again. I have a conversation with him, and he let me know, hey, I got an album that's coming out. I think he was just finished going on the radio. So he's doing some things, and he was getting some traction as far as what he was doing. It wasn't until I saw him perform over at Lex Fest, which was going on during the Stampede week, that I really was like, you know what, let me give this album a listen. So I heard these songs live before I even heard them on an album. After seeing him perform 3 times, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a listen, and we'll see what we got. The first impressions on this thing, I was interested, but I was also confused. The music sounded really, really good. The songs were really solid, but the concept of the space cowboy, I was lost on it. I found myself rocking to the music, but I was really trying to dig as far as what he was talking about. So on the first listen, I was like, man, this music sounds really good, but what is Twizzie talking about? So after a few listens, the album really fucking grew on me. If you see my previous videos, I say this all the time, but you gotta give these albums a couple listens. Once I listened to it on my runs and workouts, and I took it to different places, I was like, you know what, this album actually sounds really, really good. I started picking up on some of the concepts. Some of the concepts became a little clearer for me, which was good. Some of the songs really just fucking stuck in my head, and honestly it became easier and easier to listen to the more that I listened to it. We'll go to the production. We got some variation on the production. Most of it is very jazzy and boom bap-ish, with tracks like Jupiter Jazz, My Funny Valentine, Waltz for Venus. And then we got borderline experimental tracks on here with tracks like Black Dog Serenade and Jamming with Edwards. And then we got a dope soul track flavor, just a dope track on here with Asteroid Blues, one of my favorite tracks on here. The content and the lyrics. Now, this is where I kind of split in half. I'm still kind of torn on this, but I tried to piece together the concept. From what I was listening to, it sounded like he was on a voyage through space. Through his journey through space, he was meeting these different women. He mentions going on a journey with a woman or trying to get with a woman. Jupiter Jazz, My Funny Valentine, Asteroid Blues, and Waltz for Venus. And then we got some more general tracks talking about getting money or limitations with tracks like Waltz for Venus and Jamming with Edward. My one complaint, and once again, I think even though some of the tracks became more clear, I still was kind of confused on some of these tracks. Just because of the way that Twizzie raps on the album, he's a lyricist. So you can tell he puts complexity in the way he raps. Because it's kind of complex, sometimes the concept gets lost in translation. I like the songs and I think they sound good, and I think some of the lines that Twizzie's rapping are good, but I find myself conflicted because I don't know what he's really talking about or what the direction of the track is at the end of it. Tracks like Jupiter Jazz, Black Dog Serenade, Waltz for Venus. I'm wondering, is he talking about being with a woman? Is he talking about like his life in general? I was a little on the concept. Now the features, pardon me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. We got Grei Yonge, we got B Les, which is a dope artist also coming out of Calgary. Someone on Jamming in with Edward. I don't know if that was Twizzie just using vocal effects, but it sounded like there was a feature on Jamming with Edward. We're gonna call him Edward for now. All the singing features were done really, really well. I like the singing features on here. I think B Les on Asteroid Blues was done well. Even though his vocals were a little low on that track, I thought B Les was nice on that track. And I think Grei did her thing and was a good compliment to Twizzie on Waltz for Venus. And I think I also heard her on Jupiter Jazz. So I like the singing features on here. I think they're well executed. Overall, I think the album is very good sonically. The production is the best part of this album, so big ups to the production on here. Short enough to keep my attention. Twizzie is a lyricist enough and he's interesting enough as an MC to keep me interested. The hooks are well written, the songs are well structured. The moments that are experimental, they're well executed, which I can't say every artist can do. My one complaint, again, is just the lack of clarity on the tracks. And I think that will come with time as more practice comes. I think the concept will be a little clearer and more concise. But honestly, overall, I think it's a good album. I think it's worth a listen. Give it a listen and let me know what you think about the album. If you have not yet, subscribe to the channel. Keep bringing these constant conversations out here. I try to be a little dapper on here, you know what I mean? Show up and show out. Follow us on the social medias. Esteban Xound on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Also the label, Sound Movement, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and follow the website, soundmovement.com. Yeah, that's all I got to say for this one. Check out some of the older conversations that we got. And yeah, we're out here. Peace.
Liquor got a lady, liquor got a baby looking shady, yes, a lady wide. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady, yeah. Liquor got a baby, liquor got a lady looking shady, yes, and baby wide.
Cypher Club I go to, should I say, don't spray it.